I could probably squeeze this in now before we get back to the Super Bowl calls. And although this is also a topic if you guys wanted to jump in. Because what's going to happen is this. We are up to our necks with football. We're going to all watch the game on Sunday, slight hangover on Monday, talk about it on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're going to be walking around like Pookie looking for the pipe in New Jack, missing baseball, okay? You like that, huh? Pookie looking for the pipe? Yeah, good reference there.
Chris Rock.
You've seen the movie, right? I just want to make sure. All right, yeah, you know. So here's Jeff Passan, all right? Now, he tweeted this earlier today. Tomorrow's the most important day yet in baseball's labor battle, one that will chart the course toward opening day or its postponement. And Rob Manfred's at the center of it all, blah, blah, blah. Then he has a link to his full column. Here's what you need to know within the column. Can I give you something? Can I read something?
Go ahead.
All right. This was based on Manfred's press conference yesterday. As I read, he wasn't ready to declare the opening of spring training postponed, even though everybody in the sport knows players will not be in camp as scheduled next week. Mm-hmm. That presumably will come after the league makes its offer on Saturday, something Manfred characterized as, quote, a good proposal. As Passan continues, good is relative. Good is enough to kickstart a negotiation in which sides make headway toward a deal. Good is no longer incremental, not with the end of February 3 weeks away, and Manfred saying he wants 4 weeks of spring training before the season begins. Good is acknowledging that things have changed, society as well as the union, and that baseball can and will change them. If Saturday brings anything less, anything short of that, the players will only dig in more, and regular season games will be threatened. Owners have operated on the assumption that the union's holding out until a deadline, like the soft one at the end of February or beginning of March, will get things moving. All it takes, as Manfred said Thursday, is one moment to turn negotiations from a standstill to something more productive, and the league has the opportunity to do just that. So the short summation is this. Tomorrow, I think, if you are predisposed to be optimistic, as both you and I are with most things in life, rather than be negative, we'll hopefully, hope for the best and then react to the negative if we have to. It seems like there is an element of thawing in the thought process of Major League Baseball, and now the offer needs to represent that awareness and the urgency that it's go time. And if it doesn't, we have a big problem.
Yeah, because if they come back with the same stuff that same suggestions that they've been throwing out and the same, counter proposals that are significantly beneath what the union has been offering, then we know we're going into an extended lockout. And the owners have been this way for a long time, BT. We saw it even through the pandemic situation where they're set in their ways, they're stead in their ways. They don't want to adjust, and they don't mind missing games because they feel like it hurts the players more to miss games than it hurts them. Mm-hmm. And obviously, what it really does is it hurts everybody, and it hurts the game itself because it's such a I don't want to say it's not overly emotional, but and there's so many games you shouldn't miss them, but the timing of baseball getting pushed is something that just rubs a lot of baseball fans the wrong way.
And by the way, yeah, you're absolutely right. It drives us nuts. Those of us who really care about the game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, geez, think about this. I could not imagine having a spring on WFAN without baseball. I mean, we finally got here and there's no baseball to talk about? Are you kidding me? Come on. Life can't be that cruel, can it? But this did bother me, and this is why I'm terrified about the future of, at least, short-term future of this season starting on time. While I am optimistic, everybody knows that I think Manfred's way over his head. He's a number 2, not a number 1. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know if you saw this. I know you wrapped up out there in California.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So a league spokesman, how pathetic is this? A league spokesman said, Rob Manfred, you ready?
Yeah.
Misspoke about the competitive balance tax today. This is another tweet from Passan. What Manfred said was not true. He suggested the penalties for exceeding it are status quo. They are not. Each of the 3 thresholds is higher, and in addition, draft pick penalties are higher. So it's far more punitive than the commissioner who theoretically is supposed to know everything about this chapter and verse, communicated to us yesterday.
Well, I mean,
how is that possible?
Well, isn't that the problem? Is it Rob Manfred is not as dialed into this as he should be?
But that's unforgivable.
I don't disagree, BT. But it's always felt like that.
Yeah.
Just like last or during the pandemic when he's talking about the piece of tin, with the championship. So it's like he's there but not actually operating anything. He's the whipping boy. Like go stand out there and say something, because we're going to hide behind you. So go out there and say something. And he ends up not saying anything. And ultimately, the owners get the pass because we all, file in and start hammering Rob Manfred and not where the actual issue is.
It drives me crazy because the penalty for the Astros was not nearly as punitive as both you and I thought it should have been back, when we were going through the whole digital thing. And then, as I've said for years, he's much more equipped to be a number 2 than a number 1 because – listen, we understand that he's beholden to owners. I'm not saying he's got he's making a lot of money, so it should be easy. But there's things that he needs to navigate, and I understand that. But he's not even an incredibly polished speaker. And I'm not getting on the air making fun of the way he communicates. That's not my message. But
shouldn't that be part and parcel of his job?
Well, that's where I was going. When you have labor strife and you have uncertainty, you need the commissioner at least speaking in clear and accurate terminology. And here we are. He finally spoke yesterday, and he told us the wrong thing. That is just that's ridiculous.
It's actually kind of unbelievable if you think about it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It really is. That's like Roger Goodell after labor conversations that they had, because this happened 2 years ago. That's like Roger Goodell coming out and saying, you know what, we're going to keep the salary cap at $198 million for the next 6 years. Mm-hmm. That's basically what he said. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Roger Goodell said that?
Yeah, and then you come out and then somebody, it's really 219.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 237.
And it's going to go up an extra $5 million the next 5 years consecutively. So he misspoke, but forgive him.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. He didn't really say what he meant to say. Come on, man. This is like if you're hosting a debate. Did you get into the show, the morning show yet with Jennifer Aniston?
Yes.
You got into it on Apple.
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
I did. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where she disappeared.
Okay. I don't want to. So you're behind.
I'm a few weeks behind.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But she's back. She's back, and then she's angry, and so
yes.
Yeah.
Good character development there. Good show.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an all-time iconic show, but it's certainly a good show. But I don't want to give much away since you're a little bit behind. But there's one scene where Aniston is prepping for the Democratic debate, right? Mm-hmm. And she's got the army of, the legal team and all the questions. They're going through it. I mean, this is what needs to be. So you ask the right questions and you're on point. This is what needs to happen before the commissioner espouses anything about the future of the game. Where are the checkpoints? Like, again, I'm not saying it's easy because you got the union trying to get back 15 years of things that they relinquished, right? Mm-hmm. So I know it's not an easy negotiation, but there are certain things that should be absolute layups, like a Wilt Chamberlain, a Kareem, a Shaq layup. Just dunk it in the put it in the hole. Certain things cannot be said wrong, and he said them wrong. Yeah. And that's terrifying for the future of the game. He's just not a good commissioner. He's just not. Like, I'm not trying to make it personal, but he stinks. He does. 877-337-6666. All right, let's get back to the football. If you guys want to chime in on the baseball stuff, you can do that as well. Let's go to Oceanside. Joe is on the fan. Hey, Joe, how you doing today?
Great. Tiki, I am a giant fan of yours. I'm 63 years old. I've seen
Appreciate
all
you,
of
man.
Running.
Thank you, brother.
And to me, you're the best. I got 4 jerseys in my house, 10, 11, 21, and 56.
Nice.
And,
nice.
I want to tell you, they set you up after you retired. It was horrible what they did to you by, trying to make you turn against the Giants. And you didn't. You answered truthfully. I wish you would have been on that team. I wish you would have stayed one more year.
I just couldn't take it anymore. I appreciate you. I just didn't want to I didn't want to play. BT, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah,
I was done with the game, man.
It was done, Joe.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do it anymore.
I got to tell you one funny story, Tiki.
Go ahead.
Remember that Saturday night game we played against the Chiefs?
Yes. It was freezing.
Yeah.
That was 05, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. My niece had a wedding that night. Do you know that I was sick? I pretended I was sick from Monday to Saturday night just so I could stay home and watch that game.
That's great.
What
dude.
year was that? I want to look it up. What year was that, Joe?
It was 05. I had like 211 yards.
I don't
BT.
remember it, but I just as soon as everybody left, all my friends came home.
Yeah, I think actually maybe 220.
I was in bed again.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
no,
it. Teague, I got the box score. Thanks for the call there, Joe.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I had a good day that day.
You had a great day. Giants by a 10 spot, 27-17. Giants win. The box score was, we'll start with Eli. Eli, not that great. Young Eli still somewhat.
Mm-hmm. It was his second year.
Yeah, second year for sure. 17, not somewhat, definitely young. 17 for 32, a $186, a pick and a touchdown. All right. Tiki Barber. Oh, he carried the mail, yo. 29 carries for 220.
Yeah.
7.6 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns. Let's go to the receiving. Oh, my man wasn't done. 5 receptions there.
Yep.
Toomer had a big game. 5 receptions and a touchdown.
Yep.
Shockey with 3 for 33. Plex with 2 for 34. And Tim Carter had 1 for 16. All right, T. Big game.
I like TC. That was the game, BT, where I had the touchdown to the left side, where almost the entire defense missed because they couldn't stay on their feet. So this game was freezing and and so the ground was frozen. And everybody had cleats on because we had the field turf.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so everybody had field cleats on so it would dig into the field turf. The problem was you couldn't dig into the field turf. Mm-hmm. So Joey Skiba, who was our equipment guy at the time, he said, go put on your nubs that you would wear on regular AstroTurf, not like field turf, but regular AstroTurf nubs. Go put those on. You'll have better traction because there's more points, right? There's more little nubs instead of just like the 6 or 7,
sure,
cleats that go into the ground. Mm-hmm. And so I could cut. I was all over the place. These guys were sliding and slipping, and I had great traction. In fact, I blew those shoes out. Right?
What do you mean? Like Zion? They ripped on you?
Exactly.
Really?
The sides, I still have them in their basement. They blew out on the side, so I had to tape them in the game
really?
to keep them on. But yeah, it was one of the best games of my career.
You have to take. You still have them. You said, right?
I do.
You got to take a picture. You got to take a picture when you get back from California. Put that picture on Twitter.
I will.
You have to.
I will. Yeah.
So Teak, I clicked on the recap here. This is funny. Here's how it starts. All right. Tiki Barber had no worries about playing behind a patchwork offensive line. Next paragraph. It showed, period. Big time. Next paragraph. Barber ran.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
It's from the ESPN. I just went to the box score.
Okay.
Barber ran for a team record 220 yards on 29 carries and scored 2 touchdowns, helping the Giants beat up-and-coming runner Larry Johnson.
Yeah,
and not Larry Johnson from the Knicks. Yeah. Let's get a quote from Barber. Here we go. Despite the banged-up line, Barber slithered.
That's what it was.
I know. Slithered through the Chiefs' defense, breaking one tackle after another to eclipse the old single-game rushing mark of 218 set by Gene Roberts against the Chicago Cardinals in 1950. Quote, this is from Tiki. This is an offensive line we knew coming in was going to be effective for us. That was one of the things we talked about many months ago, that we had great depth. Then they have a quote from Sean Hara. Mm-hmm. Yeah, big game. Wow. 1950, that record that you broke.
Wow.
Did you even know who that guy was or no?
I did not.
Right?
I did not realize that.
Wow, that's crazy.
I usually read those articles. I don't remember that article.
That's awesome. 877-337-6666. CDR Mac is in Queens on the Fan. What's up, Mr. CDR Mac?
How we doing?
Good.
What's up?
Love the show, guys. Huge
Thanks.
Baseball fan. Been following this lockout extremely closely.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be honest, I think we'll know obviously tomorrow, I think, like where the future of this season is going. But for the first time, I really think like we might not actually have baseball this season. I really think these two sides are just so far apart, and I think the egos are just getting in the way. And I really think like this season might not actually happen.
No, it's going to happen. But here's the issue, CDR. You say egos, and there's certainly a strong element of that. But I think it's egos, but it's also incompetence, and that's what scares us. That's what should scare us.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine no season? Oh my God.
I mean, there's no way that's happening.
I know, but Can you imagine if there's no baseball in April? That's not going to happen either. I believe that this thing's going to happen somewhat on time.
Yeah, have we got the latest projection of for when they think this thing will end? Because people are projecting. They're speculating about the end of the labor strife and the lockout.
That's why I got into Jeff Passan's tweet and his article. There's a strong thought that if MLB comes with, and they're going to come with something tomorrow, if it's strong enough that is going to be a pathway to, I don't want to say quick resolution, but resolution that would not impact the season possibly at all. So hold out hope. I know I am for sure. Steve's in Bayside, and Steve is on the fan with Tiki and Tierney. Steve.
How you doing, guys? Love the show.
Appreciate you,
Steve.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Well, I just, there's something that I've heard over and over again on the station that just strikes me as a complete contradiction. You say that Rob Manfred is doing a bad job. But he, of course, works for the owners. He doesn't work for the fans. He doesn't work for the players. He works for the owners. And you just said a few minutes ago how the baseball has won every single negotiation for the past 15 years.
I mean, roughly. I mean, the union's trying to catch up. I don't know if it's exactly 15 years, but yeah.
Roughly. No, fine. But and how long has Manfred been commissioner for?
Not 15 years.
No, but I mean, he has negotiated, I believe, the last 2 or 3 of these, right?
Is it 3? I think it's 2. This might be the 3rd.
He's pitching a shutout. We know that, right?
Yeah.
At the negotiating table,
Yeah.
but that
How is he
doesn't.
doing
But
that?
Steve,
If
So
you're an
basically-
owner,
so
he's
basically
working
what
for
you're
you.
saying-
How is he doing a bad job for you?
So what you're saying is because what he's
I don't
actually
care about the owners.
what he's actually tasked to do, he's doing a great job of doing. Right? That's what you're saying.
that's Steve. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I
to
don't care about
an
the
extent,
owners.
you're right.
I care about me, and I care about fans like me, like
He's
you.
he's been in
doesn't
office.
work here.
He's been in office for 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. So half of the. Yeah, but Steve, it's not only winning at the negotiating table; it's what you project perceptually, and the perception is that and this is actually the reality as well. Is that baseball is as fast in terms of these young athletes, the Tatises and all these great players, this youthful vibe in the game and the embracing of letting young athletes enjoy themselves instead of the stodgy old, stop the bat flips and stop showing off. Like it's actually baseball is fast, baseball's electric, baseball is booming. But when you allow, interruptions or the messaging such as calling the World Series trophy a piece of tin, not coming down harder on the Astros. You might represent the owners well. You're not representing us well, and we're the ones who are going to the stadiums. The owners. I don't care about the owners. Who cares about the owners? Except the owners.
Yeah, this is actually his.
I don't.
This is actually
This
his
is his first one.
Yeah, because
So
the
seal
previous
the
one.
last one.
Yeah, the previous one was 11. The
11.
CBAs,
Yeah, that would
right?
have been definitely sailing, sure.
Because it went for a decade. So this is his first one.
Yeah, okay. So we'll see how it goes. So you can't even say that the scoreboard is as favorable as the last caller made it seem. And again, a lot of this is PR stuff. And
well, look, BT, in between collective bargaining agreements. So and now they're increasingly becoming a decade. Before it was half a decade. There were 5 years. Right, it was 2002 to 2006, 2011, and then they signed a 10-year deal, which the players in the union didn't get really much of anything they wanted. Right, and so C-League won that one. Put that in quotes. You can win and lose. It is what it is. So in the interim, from doing 11 to 2021. The commissioner's job is all about the perception of the league. Correct?
Yes.
Right. Some different advancements. Some. Different things they try in the minors, like the
growth.
remote, growth of the remote umpires. You remember all that stuff that we talked about.
Speeding up the pace of the game.
Speeding up the pace.
No doubt.